Greetings, everyone. This is the Kids and Culture 2017 Haiti or Haiti overview. Well, not or Haiti. We don't use the word Haiti to describe this great republic, and I will go into that in a little bit. A short, quick summary of who I am, Oluwatoyin Teller. I was born in the West African nation of Nigeria. My mother's Jamaican. I went to Haiti or Haiti in 2014. I toured a good bit of the country by car and saw the vast array of this significant place. The people, I was at the Miami airport and totally felt like I was in Nigeria or any West African nation. I was amped up at the airport in Miami. Once we landed, my heart was just filled with complete bliss. Minus the tremendous amount of poverty, the riches of the spirit spoke louder if you had the eyes to see, which I and my patriots did. Anyway, I went to Haiti in 2014, went to Jacmel, Pétionville, of course, Port-au-Prince, went to St. Elizabeth, so long ago, just all over. Labadie, which we're going to get into later, very controversial. But most significantly for me, in the US, I don't quite feel at home. In Jamaica, same thing. Nigeria, of course, I feel at home. That's where I was born. But in Haiti, it's like the two worlds of West Africa and Caribbean is like the best sandwich melting pot of them all. It's I felt at home. I felt at home in Haiti because for me being from those two worlds of the continent, African continent, and the West Indies, Jamaica, Haiti was definitely the perfect blend, and I felt at home. And of course, I've had incidences in life where elders, Haitian elders will sit by me and just start speaking Creole. This was from when I was in high school, middle school in New York, and they'll just start talking to me, and I'm looking at them like, I don't know what you're saying, but I'll just let them speak, because they saw something in me, and I really understood it when I landed in Haiti, and that place just brings me joy. I plan on going back definitely, and learned a little bit of Creole. And the best teachers are children because they have the patience to teach you. So it was great. My sister was doing some work there in an orphanage, and she's been going for the past 5 years, and I went with her at that time. Wonderful, wonderful place. Love it, love it, love it. Much, much respect to the Haitian population. So now, Haiti is the Republic of Haiti. That's the official name. And again, we say Haiti and not Haiti because this is the Taino word for the entire island. Haiti including Santo Domingo or Dominican Republic. That is the name the Taino gave it. And once the liberators, Dessalines, Toussaint Louverture, Christophe, all of them came, liberated the island. They called it Haiti, and they did take over today's Dominican Republic as well. It was the entire island until later, the fighting and everything, that it shrunk Haiti down to where it is today, which is about 3/8 of the whole island. The capital is Port-au-Prince. It's over 10,000 square miles. The population, and if anybody's ever been to the Caribbean islands, Jamaica particularly, in the countryside, the population is it's not so populated. You go to Kingston, you go to Montego Bay, you see a lot of people. In Haiti, Port-au-Prince crowded, Jacmel crowded, Cap-Haïtien, which is the second largest city in Haiti, crowded. We're in the hills, in the mountains, and where you would think nobody would be, crowded. That is it's the most populous country in CARICOM, or the Caribbean community, and the second most populous in the Caribbean as a whole. which is really, really important. And it's so interesting because I'm getting into it a little early, but the different phenotypes of Africans that I saw, they said 72% African, 28% mulatto, and white. I don't know how that breaks down. I did see three Asians. I'm not sure if they were Korean, Chinese, or Japanese, but I saw three, and that was in Capation. But again, in Capation, this is, I forget which area, but you can look it up. In Capation, we we saw, this is where they grow a lot of rice. We were in a small village, again, well populated. Village doesn't mean scarce. Well populated and beautiful. And we saw people that looked like the Kosa from South Africa. I've never seen so many different African phenotypes in one space in my life. And it's mountainous. So yes, they have this part of Santo Domingo of Haiti, the huge Haiti. They have this small part of it, 3/8 of the whole island, but it's well populated, and the fact that there are mountains gives it more landmass. So, and it's green and lush and like anything could grow there. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. The major languages are Haitian Creole and French. Not many people speak French, but everybody speaks Creole. Other religions are Voodoo, Catholicism, and Protestantism. The currency is, it looks like gourd, but it's good. Good. I mean, you see Toussaint Louverture on the good. You see all these beautiful black revolutionaries on the good, on the money. And that is something that is awe-inspiring, you know, especially here in the Western Hemisphere. I mean, Jamaica has Nanny of the Maroons on some of the bills, but it was beautiful to see, you know. They declared their independence on the 1st of January in 1804. So they've been independent for 213 years, regardless of the people who are still low-key invading them, right? They're trying to do it low-key in the guise of charity. When I went there and I saw the different governmental trucks, they did nothing. They were on the beach with us, the tourists. How? Why are you on the beach if you're protecting people? If anything, there are cases of them abusing the people, especially children. So what are they really doing there? It's, you know, it's like a soft, it felt like a soft invasion. But the Haitian people, they know. And excuse me, like I'm also retraining myself to say Haitian. I may slip and say Haitian, but the proper name is Haitian. That's what they call themselves. That's what they call themselves now. Before, when it was the Tainos. And I choose to use that word, and I ask you as the teachers, lead teachers, assistant teachers, to really make an effort to say Haitian. Haitian, right? Okay. The Haitian flag, Haitian flag, see, is red and blue. Now, there's an interesting story of Dessalines, who declared himself an emperor after independence. He was right after Toussaint Louverture. I'll go over the order of the different revolutionaries and leaders. But Dessalines, Emperor Dessalines, and I choose to call him emperor because he did some significant things for this nation. And for me, and for a lot of people now that look to Haiti as a hallmark, a significant time for us Africans. So he created the flag by taking the French tricolor flag and ripping out the white center. And he asked his goddaughter, Catherine Flon, to sew the remaining together, the red and the blue. He removed it and had the blue signify the Haitian black citizens and the red for the mulattoes or the free people of the mixed race. The story is widely known. Haiti has a huge oral tradition, and it's celebrated up to today. Now, the colors of the flag, interesting, were changed by Dessalines to red and black. But Pétion, the same president, the same infamous president who was looking for this French acceptance, and he was the one responsible, Pétion, for giving France reparations because the Haitian Revolution was successful. He gave France over 150 million francs today in gold. So it's like appreciated significantly. Nonetheless, Pétion changed the color back to red and blue. Hence, we have red and blue, and the coat, the armor, the emblem in the middle has been changed numerous times to different things. You can look that up, but the color now is red and blue. Okay. This place has so much history, and the oral history and some of this was from oral history from historians and things, and some of this is not in books necessarily. So again, the Taino people were the original people. The Haitian Revolution, of course, the Africans there came from West Africa, and from what I saw with my eyeballs, South and Central Africa, I saw people that looked like the Kosa, a whole village. Like, you could have easily been in the Kalahari Desert. And this was in Cap-Haïtien, way in Haiti. And it was beautiful. These mud huts, houses, architectural structures. And they were so nice. I mean, we couldn't communicate. The other people could, but me and my sister were so shocked. Like, wow, okay, you all are here too. Like, it was just a complete amazement being there. Okay, so they declared. They declared their independence on the 1st of January in 1804. Now, you'll see books and articles and things saying, oh, France recognized it in 1825. It's like saying England recognized the U.S. independence like years later, even though the independence was declared July 4th, or so they say, right? Now, independence, Haitian independence, was the 1st of January, 1804. That is the date. Now, the true constitution, Haiti, was also written up, but European and U.S. government, throughout the years, have been chipping away at it ever since. And there's a few reasons for that. I'm going to read through some of the points, highlights of the original Constitution of 1804. There's been like dozens, like 25, 24 changes to the Constitution. That's why there's so much unrest, because they needed to change that Constitution. Imagine somebody coming here changing the Constitution of the U.S. Constant changing of this Constitution. Why? Found it interesting. Here's one article. The people inhabiting the island formerly called Santo Domingo, so they're including today's Dominican Republic. They were like, it's the whole island. They never said, oh, this is Haiti, this section over here. No, it was the whole island. Now, hereby agree to form themselves into a free state, sovereign and independent of any other power in the universe, under the name Empire. Now, empires expand, and Haiti was on a course of expanding, and I think might be successful. Empire of Haiti. Okay. Slavery is forever abolished. Now, and then there's another one. No person is worth of being a Haitian who is not a good father, good son, a good husband, and especially a good soldier. Now, the most significant part, and one of the last articles that was taken out of the Constitution by gunpoint, pretty much. The U.S. Army surrounded Parliament, and they took this out. No white man of whatever nation he may be shall put his foot on this territory with the title of master or proprietor. Neither shall he in future acquire any property therein. Can't come up in here talking about you own somebody or you the master of somebody, nor can you own land. That was taken out, I believe, in the 90s. I think this had a lot to do. You can look it up. This had a lot to do with what's his name? The Asian Pope. Ah, forget his. It just slipped me just now. You know the name. You know the name. They went and ousted him a couple years ago and flew him to South Africa. Put him on a plane, and he ended up in South Africa. Okay. Now, the legend of the Haitian Revolution. Many historians consider the Haitian Revolution, in fact, an African revolution held in the Western Hemisphere, right? And remember, with the Haitian Revolution, it also, the success of it forced France to sell Louisiana territory, hence the Louisiana Purchase by the U.S. That was because the French lost money and they had to sell that land to the U.S. That is a direct result of the Haitian Revolution and the power that these Africans, our ancestors, had on world history. They don't teach that when they talk about the Louisiana Purchase, but that's why it happened. Look it up. It consisted of many different Africans. Okay? And again, they renamed Santo Domingo, Haiti, its original name by the Taino. They not only, now this is important for the children to understand because we always talk about how, Africans lost this, we lost that. We have to teach them, especially at these ages, 12 and under, 13 and under, 30 and under, 50 and under, that we succeeded. We have to teach the revolutions, the battles that were won. That is important. They can't always be the losers and the colonized in every story. We have to tell the story of the winning. Now, it was significant because the African army defeated not just one European nation, but 3 European nations, the Spanish, the French, and the British, at the same time. They were just attacking them, right? Remember, Santo Domingo, that's Spanish. The British, of course, they just, Britannica, they want to rule the world where the sun doesn't set on any of the territory. And the French, of course, led by Napoleon Bonaparte. Haitian Revolution, a group of ex-enslaved Africans defeated Napoleon. How come we don't hear about that when we learn about how great this Napoleon general was? He was defeated by Haiti. Toussaint Louverture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Boukman Duty, Henry Christophe. Now, Jamaicans and Haitians have an interesting relationship. Boukman Duty was actually Jamaican, all African, right? That's why this is an African revolution. But Boukman Duty was brought into Haiti from Jamaica. He's actually Jamaican. And very spiritual person, and he played a significant role in the Haitian Revolution as well. Okay, again, they defeated Napoleon. Let's remember that. Defeated the French, the Spanish, and the English. Now, Louverture and Dessalines were both trained by women from Dahomey, West Africa. They were trained by women. They said it, and it's passed down through the oral tradition and in some places recorded. They were taught to fight by women. Women in Dahomey were like the Amazon, warrior nations of women in Dahomey. Look it up. So Mary Jeanne, which I believe that's Dessalines' adopted mother, and her band of women gave the security to Dessalines, and he felt more secure with them protecting him than anybody else. That's who he asked to protect him. Okay, the revolution began in 1791 and was led by, again, Toussaint Louverture, and he changed his name. His name was Francis or something, and he didn't want to have the what do you call it? Like an allegiance to France. So his name was changed to Toussaint Louverture, which means the one who finds an opening. And then Dessalines was just the warrior. Toussaint found the open. Dessalines came in and just demolished the system of slavery. Toussaint learned of Africa from his dad, his father, who was born a free man there. So he learned a lot. He led the only successful revolution in history by enslaved people, which influenced again the United States across the world. Nat Turner's, the Demarc-Vesey. Again, there was actually a revolution in Louisiana. Again, this influenced the Louisiana Purchase. It caused France to sell Louisiana territory to U.S. Okay? So U.S. should be thanking Haiti. Women represented a third of the army in the revolution, yes, as well as children. You know, they think, oh, there goes an innocent child just walking about. No, that child was part of the army. It was an army of everybody. This is something I heard of as well with Jamaica and the Maroons. Everybody's involved because it's everybody's freedom at stake. Everyone plays a role. Everybody. Children, women, adults. Okay? Dessalines apparently spoke Yoruba, and he learned that from his teacher or mother from Dahomey. The Haitian independence is January 1st, 1804. Okay? Now, here are the rulers in order. This is important because the children need to know this, right? They need to know this. Toussaint. Then it passes on to Dessalines. From Dessalines, it goes to Christophe. From Christophe, it goes to Pétion. Pétion was the infamous president who set Haiti back economically by agreeing to pay the French government over 150 million francs worth in reparations or payment for their independence. His misjudgment has left Haiti trying to recoup their losses ever since. And Haiti has also asked or demanded that France pay back that money because it wasn't theirs, that gold, actually, because it wasn't theirs to begin with. We'll see how that goes. All right. I already highlighted the Constitution of 1805. Again, there's been like 20 rewrites. One of the most significant ones is that no white man can own land or call himself master or proprietor of anything on this piece of island. Okay. Now, there's some beautiful wonders. I mean, we could talk about the revolution and its significance and the way that's one huge lesson that's been written already. Haitian Revolution and its effects today, that's already there. I really say make sure you teach the children that, even the younger ones, they can just know who these people are and what they did, you know. They can draw a picture, right? And understand that they have heroes and sheroes, because again, Dessalines, the most mightiest of them all, was taught by a woman from Dahomey. Okay. Now there are wonders, and everything is pretty much tied to the revolution. So one of the wonders there, and I did see this place, the Citadel. The Citadel was magnificent. I mean, you could see the sea. You could see everything. So they were positioned. Henry Christophe, the third ruler, right, or one of the players and revolutionaries. You can see the sea every angle from the Citadel. You have to go up. We had to get on a horse or a donkey, whatever it was, and like cluck, 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 all the way up the mountain, because you can't drive there till today. So we're cluck up this mountain, and there's this little boy. He's holding the horse, and they're laughing because we're like, oh my God, what is happening? I'm about to fall off this horse or donkey, whatever it was. And they're laughing. It was just really beautiful. They're laughing at us, right? We're laughing because it's just funny, because it's about to fall off, and they're clunking. And then there are people that just live along the road, and they're looking at us like, okay, there go more visitors, right? But when you when we got up there, it was like, yes, they won. We won. It was liberating. I mean, that they were ready in the citadel to just seal off the whole citadel and live. They had a bakery, they had fresh water supply, they had canyons, of course, and it's been dwindling because people are stealing things from there. The balls, the cannonballs, they had cannonballs set up. There was no way the French, the Spanish, or the British could have won. And they were attacking them at the same time. Imagine that. It's a fortress, a self-sufficient fortress. That's what the citadel was. Labadie. We also went to Labadie. Oh, it says it's a pristine beach with coral reefs and lagoon-like bays surrounded by forested mountains. Well, Labadie has been leased to the Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited until 2050. Haitians, the only time they go there is to work. We could go there as tourists because we couldn't afford to stay in that hotel, and there was no cruise. Only cruise ships could come in. Now they have fences all around the property. Labadie, it's a town, so there are people. So there's the beach area fenced off, and then there's ocean, and then there's the other people. They live over here. Now, if you live here, you got to work over here where it's fenced off. You could easily just walk or drive or take the top, which is the bus, the top, and take it and get dropped off. No, 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 no. You can't do that. You can't enter through land. So the folks, the natives who live here, have to get on this rough sea and travel by boat every day to get dropped off to go to work at the Royal Caribbean Cruise spot. We went on that sea trip and it was rough. It wasn't smooth like, oh, we're just rowing our boat to work. No, it was rough. Beautiful but rough. Another thing is a lot of Frenchmen, Canadians are coming there and buying up land. Now that that whole part of the no white man can own land or consider himself master. That was important. That was important that they put that in the Constitution, and it took armed guards around their government, parliament, to take that out of their Constitution forcibly. Forcibly took that out of their Constitution. Can you imagine? Don't even imagine. It happened. Now, another beautiful place is the Palace. We also went there, not too far from the Citadel, so that was a day trip. About 5 kilometers. It was beautiful, but it's destroyed, and a lot of the monuments have been stolen and taken. Interestingly enough, a lot of things are being stolen there. So they can say, "Oh, this is from Haiti circa 2014." You know, a lot of things are just taken. And just a side note with the Haitian people and the ones I've come across throughout my life in New York and going there, the amount of pride and love for country is deep, and I could see that. Like I'm not necessarily from that physical island, but I have a love for it because the heart is there, and that must be translated to these campers. The heart for oneself, one's people. And they didn't stop at Haiti, just like Cuba didn't stop at Cuba. They didn't stop there. Haiti is an African nation outside of Africa, honorary African nation outside of Africa. Period. So is Jamaica. To a certain extent, so is Cuba. Right? Where there's Africans, it's Africa. Period. Earth, right? Bassin Bleu. I didn't go here, but it's a natural water site located west of the city of Jacmel, which I've been in. Jacmel is more like a beach town, very French in its design, very beautiful place and colorful. That's where a lot of the artsy people are in Jacmel. I mean, the art scene in Haiti and Haiti is colorful, bursting out of this world. A lot of collectors from Europe and the U.S. and other Caribbean nations come there to get the art, period. They know. We need to know, the people here in the U.S. Haitian art sells like hotcakes. Sells like hotcakes. Okay? Rivers, the longest river is Artibonite, is the longest river. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Excuse me. It's the longest river of the island, and of Haiti. So it just doesn't stop at Haiti because that's where Haiti stops today. It goes into Dominican Republic. Okay, the wildlife Haiti has large and a wide, diverse ecosystem. Like I said, there's mountains. There's desert with what do you call those things? Brain fog. Desert with cacti. Like we're driving through and we see this desert with cacti, and we go up and we see mountains come back down, valley, like Haiti. That's it. The people, the food. Now, the temperament of people in Haiti is like mix a Nigerian with a Jamaican. Yes, that's Haiti. Maybe a little Ghanaian in there. The temperament, spicy, but cool sometimes, but spicy. It was wonderful. It was fun. Haiti Sherry. Okay, so Haiti has it doesn't have that many native large mammals, but now you have dogs and dogs and horses and stuff. Like the one we went up to the Citadel with. Beautiful place. But in the seas, there are a large number of mammals: whales, dolphin, manatees, and the fish. Beautiful coral reef and angelfish and snapper, lobster, sponge, barracudas, birds, ducks, pigeons, egrets, flamingos. Reptilian life is huge. Lizards. There's a lot of lizard and snake insignia in the artwork. Iguanas, frogs, crocodiles in the artwork. A lot of butterflies. A lot of dust. Some places, the cities, because it's desertification. There's a lot of that going on, unfortunately, in Haiti because people cut down the wood to start fire. It's very isolated too. I mean, the population is huge, so you're not alone, but it's isolated in that they don't get a lot of Africans from outside of Haiti and the diaspora coming in. The people there, I must say, love African anything. African fabric sells like hotcakes. Braiding. I mean, I've never seen women with their natural hair braided so well. I mean, fresh plaits. Jamaicans, Haitians got it as far as the plaits and the hair braiding and the different styles. Haitian got it. They have that. So I'm going to wrap this up really quickly because before I was long-winded. Cassave, the food there. 3 square meals a day, easy. Okay? Easy. Cassave, you have, that's a tortilla type. It's like bami in Jamaica. So it's like the cassava cake tortilla, thick tortilla, like flatbread. It's made out of yuca root. Legume is a well-seasoned eggplant dish with other vegetables. Jonjon is a rice and peas-esque dish made with lima beans and rice that's been blackened with mushroom paste. Yes, they can cook. They don't cook real spicy though, so they have this thing called pickles, which is pickled cabbage, shallots, peppers, and carrots. So kind of like a side dish of hot sauce, and that's what you use to spice your food. They're not real hot eaters like West Africans and Jamaicans with their curry. No, it's pretty mild, but you can always make it hot at your choosing. Bunnin. Bunnin is fried green plantain that's fried, flattened, and fried again. Crispy and delicious. Griot is a fried seasoned pork. I just put that there to put like a meat dish. I didn't really see that much meat eating, and maybe because our crew was a vegan crew, so we didn't really pay attention, and it was easy to eat. Like, and we did eat street food, fried plantain, plantain chips, things like that. Kalalou jonjon, that's okra with the black mushroom stew. Pickles, that's the pickled cabbage, shallots, peppers, and carrots. Maï morin à saspoir, that's cornmeal with beans and steamed chicken. Okay, so there's a lot to choose from for the exclusively vegan cuisine part of our camp. I would suggest Jean. There's a way to do it. I'm sure you know if you have an Haitian friend or look on YouTube. There's a way to make it. Legume, that's really easy with well seasoned eggplant chopped up. You peel the eggplant skin off and you season that really well. Cassave, if you can find it online or go to an Haitian market, you should be able to find cassave or even buy bami, and that's eaten for cassava is eating breakfast with like tea. It's like a tea biscuit in the morning, or a snack. It's like sugar in the middle. But I ate it because it was like I need to eat, you know. Of course, the fruits, mango, sugar cane, the typical tropical fruits are there. They don't eat much ackee. We maybe saw an ackee tree, but they didn't. They're not big on ackee like that, like we are in Jamaica. Okay, Haitian Creole and crack. Haitian Creole, both French Creole are and both French and Haitian Creole are the official languages of Haiti, but only Creole is the national language. Every Haitian speaks Creole, and the language is used in the media, on the radio, everything. It has its own spelling system, so it's on a whole nother level. It's pretty phonetic. Like it's amazing how you can read Haitian Creole. You can see like, oh, that's what that word is. Like it's pretty phonetic. Phonetic, not frenetic, phonetic. Now, a number of African languages can be identified as influenced in the Haitian Creole language. Different groups are the Fon speakers, Kikongo speakers, Ewege speakers, and Nago or Yoruba speakers can be identified in the language. For me, particularly and personally, I can see the influence of Yoruba. Like when you, in Yoruba, if you want to ask a question, you say ki. Like you say ki lon so, what are you saying? So that's in Yoruba. In Creole, it's like Kijon, Kijon, like what is it? What's going on? Or it's a key is a question. So I saw that. I was like, oh wow, I saw that influence. Or I heard that influence there. Of course, sac passe is what's up. That's in Haitian Creole. And your response, sac passe, na boule. That's like you're chilling, you're good. You know, we all have that. They say that it's believed that African languages is still in use in Haiti long after the Haitian Creole was supposedly created. The structure of some West and West Central African languages, such as Fongbe, Ewe, Mina, Aja, Nyanja, some Kosa type languages, Kikongo, are in African and Haitian Creole are very similar. So the structural integrity, I put a link from where I received that information down below as far as the resources. It's a good read for linguists and also to teach the children because he or she breaks down what is Haitian Creole. I mean, Haiti is a hotbed, is a pool, is a gold mine for linguists, visual artists, spiritualists, etymologists, geologists. Like it's a gold mine. It's a gold mine for storytelling, cultural ambassadors. IT is a gold mine. Gold mine. Crick crack, one of the storytelling traditions in IT. With its strong oral tradition, IT holds true to the storytelling manner of many African peoples worldwide. Crick is asked by the storyteller and crack is the response the audience gives, signifying their attention and readiness for the story or riddle. And that's something that can definitely be used for the younger ones. Older ones too. I mean, they love my daughter, she's 11, she loves stories. Oral storytelling. So crick, and then they say crack, and then you tell them a riddle story. You can look up different ones on YouTube, or you can make one up. Is any story or riddle. Okay. That'll be really great because that's like Anansi stories. Anansi to Jamaica is crick crack is to Haiti. Okay, that's pretty popular. Now, Haiti is, like I said, is mountainous, um, and it has major landmarks and landforms there. They have desert, mountain, plains, grassland. They even have an area where pine trees. This was in Thomasin. Went to Thomasin, north of Petionville. Thomasin. This is where my sister worked at the. She worked at a. She helped with speech therapy at an orphanage for special needs children. And there, the pine trees grow. They can grow anything that could be grown in the northeast of America. So like New York, Maine. So they can grow cabbage, any apples, cold weather type fruits and vegetables that can grow there. So the landforms there are, and the geography, the ecology, the I don't know what the word is. It's diverse. The biodiversity is pretty significant. Like you can have uh, a palm tree in Jacmel and then have pine trees in Thomasin. That's major. Okay. Now arts, music. Wyclef Jean is a world-renowned Asian musician from the Fugees, from the hip-hop group Fugees, and he was also a presidential candidate in Haiti, his home. Sweet Mickey, or Michelle Artelli, is a legendary Haitian singer and former president. Boukman Experience, legendary high-energy music group named after Haitian revolutionary Boukman Duty. Now, not Duty, Duty. So these are the different sounds you can play for the children as they come in. If they're playing a game, if they're eating snack, you have Wyclef Jean. He has a lot of Creole influence or lyrical music. Michelle Lartilli, or Sweet Mickey. If you're looking for his music, just put Sweet Mickey. Everything is written in the PDF. Boukman Experience, really high energy. You could do a dance to that, something, have them listen to it in the morning, in the afternoon. Quiet time. Sweet Mickey is nice, you know. The type of dance is compa. You have compa, which is like it's like what Argentinians did with tango. Haitians did with compa. So it's a dance style with a partner, and we went to see. I should put that Tropicana. They say it like that. Tropicana is also a legendary group. We went to their concert. We were actually at the border of Dominican Republic. It was right there where we went to go see Tropicana in Capation. So, you know, it's all the same thing pretty much. It's just outside forces that force this division. Sports and games, we saw a lot of football or soccer and running, track and field. There's significant amount of national holidays. Carnival is big, but it changes year to year. So when is the date exactly? You have to, look that up. Carnival Mardi Gras, that's huge in Haiti. Now imagine all these people coming out the woodwork and having carnival. Really beautiful. Boukman Experience. They're pretty. They have great carnival music. There's a day, Battle of Vertières Day, which commemorates the victory over the French. That's a day they celebrate. They also commemorate the death of Jean-Jacques Dessalines. He was very significant. That's in October the 17th. And they have an Ancestry Day, the 2nd of January of every year, and we're preceded by the 1st of January, their complete independence from France. Now, there's additional resources. Please click on the link. It's there for you. The original Constitution Haiti. See for yourself. Haitian cuisine. This particular link has images and stuff. So especially for whoever's doing cooking, or if you're gonna touch on food in your courses in your class, it has images and breaks down more how to cook them and all these things. And then there's 2 links for Haitian Creole. One is the document I was telling you about, where he or she wrote a paper on the breakdown of it, the etymology of the Haitian language, which it should be considered. And then there's another link about Haitian Creole, which breaks down, little terms and things. So that's it for today. And, well, for this. Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy it. And please instill a respect for this place, and I know you will, to these children in their hearts. Because it's interesting, I saw going to the movies with groups of people while on vacation. I saw Anchorman 2. And throughout this movie, he kept saying, don't ever go to Haiti. He said it about 3-4 times. And this was a comedic movie, but every time he said it, it was like a short pause and like a silence, like a serious moment. Don't ever go to Haiti. Then don't ever go. And I'm in a movie theater like, what has happened? This was before I went to Haiti. And I'm like, what is this? And we've all been brainwashed about Haiti. And I'm so grateful that I got a chance to go. And I'm going to go again. I'm going to go again after that. I'm going to go after that. Because it enriches your spirit, your energy field. Now, I've always wanted to see what was in Haiti. I was tired of seeing the dusty cobblestone or whatever they showed on TV when I was younger. I was like, if this is the Caribbean, there has to be beaches and trees and ocean. Can't look like Jones Beach on Long Island, the ocean you could hardly see your finger if you put it in there. It's like, it has to be beautiful. And when I went, I was like, yeah, they don't show this. Just like they don't show certain parts of Africa as beautiful and the biodiversity and the ecosystem and the animals and things. They don't show that. Go to Haiti, because believe me, there's other people going there and buying up the real estate, since now they removed the most significant part of the Constitution that was set in place by Dessalines and Toussaint Louverture and Henry Christophe and Boukman Duty. I keep saying Dutty, that's the Jamaican side. Boukman Duty. Go. And I know we're instilling traveling and exploring different cultures in our children, and they're already open-minded. But we got to keep, especially with Haiti, it's significant and it's important. It's important. Okay, thank you again. Enjoy Kids and Culture Camp 2017.